Speaking of degeneracy, let's go to Joe Biden. Accused rapist Joe Biden, as we move on to news here, finally answered the rape allegations against him after almost a month of ducking and dodging and everything. Well, not really. I guess he didn't really duck and dodge for a month because the media didn't ask him about it, so there was nothing to dodge. It's pretty easy. You know, it's like a game of dodgeball where no one's throwing any balls. It's kind of easy to succeed there. But he went on MSNBC this morning, and I have to say, look, credit, I give the media a lot of grief for good reason, especially when it comes to this Joe Biden thing. But I do have to say, and I don't get a chance to say this very often, I'll probably never get a chance to say it again, so I want to say it right now. Great job by MSNBC. Great job in this case. They grilled Biden. I think that Biden probably could have gotten a friendlier interview on Fox. Now, he didn't know that. I'm sure he didn't walk into this. He figured, there's a reason he went to MSNBC. He figured, let me find the most far-left news organization I can find. And he went to MSNBC. Now, his mistake was he probably should have gone to CNN, because actually these days, I think CNN might take that crown. It's a lot of competition for it. But went to MSNBC. They grilled him pretty good. It was a tough line of questioning. Let's start by playing this. Here he is initially denying the allegation.
It's just going to be you and me. And I want to get right to the allegation made against you by Tara Reade. So the former Senate aide accuses you of sexual assault. And please, to our viewers, please excuse the graphic nature of this, but I want to make sure that there is no question as to what we're talking about. She says in 1993, Mr. Vice President, that you pinned her against the wall and reached under her clothing and penetrated her with your fingers. Would you please go on the record with the American people? Did you sexually assault Tara Reade?
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't. It never happened.
Wait, so it did happen? He said it never happened. It never happened. So it didn't not happen. So it did happen. I think he just admitted to it. I don't know. That sounded like a confession to me. And then much of the interview was focused on Joe Biden's past statements about believing all women. This is the part that really surprised me. I didn't think MSNBC would hammer this as much as they did. But Mika, to her credit, nailed him on the double standard related to Kavanaugh and other situations. And we kept going back to this point, and here he is addressing that question.
You were unequivocal, Mr. Vice President, back in 2018 during the Kavanaugh controversy and hearings. And you said that women should be believed. You said this: for a woman to come forward in the glaring lights of focus nationally, you've got to start off with the presumption that at least the essence of what she is talking about is real. Whether or not she forgets the facts, whether or not it's been made worse or better over time. She's going to be going on national television on Sunday. Tara Reade is coming forward in the glaring lights. To use your words, should we not start off with the presumption that the essence of what she's talking about is real? She says you sexually assaulted her.
Look, from the very beginning, I've said believing women means taking the woman's claim seriously when she steps forward and then vet it. Look into it. That's true in this case as well. Women have a right to be heard, and the press should rigorously investigate claims they make. I'll always uphold that principle. But in the end, in every case, the truth is what matters. And in this case, the truth is the claims are false.
Believing women means taking the woman's claim seriously. No, it doesn't. That is not what believing women means, actually. And the distinction is really important and obvious. Believing someone is not the same thing as taking their claim seriously. Taking a claim seriously means seriously trying to find out if it's true or not. And that's what we want the court of law to do. That's what we want the police to do. Take the claim seriously. Try to figure out if they're true. Believing someone means accepting the claim as true. That's belief. So these are not the same thing. One precedes the other. So you take the claim seriously, you look into it. If you find evidence, good evidence, then maybe you proceed on to believing the person. But then we don't need believe women either. It's not about believing women. The fact that she's a woman has nothing to do whatsoever with believing her or not believing her. When you're trying to decide whether or not to believe someone, their genitalia really shouldn't enter into the equation at all. It's got nothing to do with it. Now, unless the claim they're making is, I am a woman, and then whether or not they actually are a woman is going to matter quite a lot, and whether or not we believe that claim, at least as far as I'm concerned, although that's controversial these days, I suppose. So that's not at all the same thing, and Biden knows that, but he's, there's no way around this. It's very clear that believe all women is nonsense. It is a dangerous precedent, as Biden is now discovering because it's being applied to him, and there's no way around it. He said, believe women. He said, assume that the essence of what they're saying is real. That's what he said, which is another way of saying assume what they're saying is true. And he doesn't want us to apply that standard to him. So the real answer here for Biden and all the other Democrats is that they never actually believed that we should believe all women. Because even they may be liars, but most of them are actually not crazy. Joe Biden might be getting there, but he's not quite there yet. So if you say believe all women, you're either a lunatic or you're just lying. Or you're proposing that standard as a political ploy and as a means to slander a man who's been accused in a given situation. So those are the two options. And in this case, it's the latter. And that's the answer, but Biden can't say it. The truthful answer for Biden would be, look, obviously you don't believe all women. Obviously you got to look at evidence. We were saying that because we were trying to take down Kavanaugh because we were really worried about him getting on the Supreme Court. We were just throwing everything we could at him. And we were trying to fire people up. And so that's what the believe all women thing was about. Okay, that's all it was. That would be the honest answer. And I would almost respect it if somebody, even if it's not Biden, if just somebody on the left would come out and just say that. I would almost respect the honesty, finally, after all this time. But they're not going to say that. So they're going to try to find some way. They're going to try to find some way to make believe all women and I don't believe this woman work together. They're going to try to find some way to make those two things not contradict each other, but there's no way. There's just no way to do that. It's like trying to make this is a square and this is a circle work, not contradict each other. It just can't happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.